Hello everyone and welcome back to today's JavaScript tutorial series. So today we'll learn how to select HTML elements using CSS selector with JavaScript. So throughout this example we'll explore the powerful way JavaScript interact with the DOM. Now let's get started. First of all, just introduction to the selecting elements. In JavaScript, use method like jQuery selector and jQuery selector all to select HTML document. This method use the same CSS selector you are familiar with. So today the first example I'm creating for the query selector and open for this index HTML, and here I'm creating the HTML 5 years. Okay, so first this inside I'm creating this body type, inside creating the symbol of div element. So just type for index div, and first of all I'm creating the ID. So ID is create here and the symbol of ID is called the box, and also insert type for is a box contain. Okay, insert the content and then go to the next step, and here I'm using the paragraphs tag. So this insert I'm also creating this paragraph class name. Just type here is the text, and here I'm type the symbol of paragraph for this is a paragraph. Okay, and also here I'm using for another the symbol of button, and so just in type for it's a button tag. So this insert only type for here is clicked me. Okay, it's done and it's perfectly using this click me. So here is creating the basic HTML structure, and let's see how you can see select this element using the JavaScript. So here in this inside I'm creating this JavaScript tag, just open. Okay, it's perfect. This inside I'm creating for this JavaScript. So here to select this element by this ID, use the query selector. So let's change and text of the state. Okay, so you can see first of all this inside I type the late box is equal to type the document is also set for this query selector. So those things are only select for hashtag in this box. Okay, so then using for, so first of all type the box dog is type the text context if you want to type the message. So first of all here I type for the updated box. Sorry, let's type the box content. Okay, so you can see here is properly type the box content. This example here is used for the hashtag box as the CSV selector to target the date and the text content updated text. Okay, so now I'm saving this code and running this code. So just click on this run icon and also just debug and see the result, and you can see here this is a properly printing for updated box content and this paragraph, and you can see here this is a simple and click on this button. Okay, I hope you understanding this example topic. So okay, now I'm using for another one and just going here, and it's completely creating this sample of example needs some creation for selecting by class. Okay, so to select an element by class use query selector class here. So how can the change the color of this paragraph? Okay, so now just try, and you can just define this late is a paragraph. Okay, Mr. Paragraph is document, define the query selector, and then I'm using for just type for the dot text. Okay, and you can see this text and also using here. So now just change this line of code, and here type only first of all define the paragraph dot using the style So style, the style dot sheet, the color is 2. So now I see for the color is blue. Okay, so you can see here is the color style of the color uh, population in the style. The test color blue, so only the first matching color of this paragraph. Okay, so now just as the sharing this code and open for again in the browser and just add refresh now, and so as you can see here it's completely it totally changed the color, and here you can see the color is blue. Okay, you can see here the computer understanding is a simple app example. Okay, so next step here you can see it's creating for and is selecting for multiple elements with the Qt selector. To select the multiple elements using the Qt selector all, so let's lifestyle to all the matching aligned. Okay, so you can see here it is just for this line of code, and so first of all I'm creating this underscored list. Okay, so you can have this inside creating for the simple of list. Okay, so first of all here I'm type 4 is item is 1, and also using this line of code just copying this line and paste for the next row line. So now I have changed for is called item is 1 and next for item is 3. Okay, it's done. Now I'm just select for the multiple element and putting this JavaScript inside. So first of all I type for here it is item. Okay, so just type the items and this is the quality of the document. So now remove this, and here I'm using the Qt selector all, and this insert and inserted only the list. Next I'm apply for these items, so just remove for the English line of code, and here I type for this is item list dot notation, and also type for here is the text content. Sorry, here using the items startup for each. Okay, so this inside I'm creating here person declared the signal of item. Okay, and using for the index. Okay, also creating this arrow sign and using these curly brackets. So first of all type only the item dot notation and type this the text context in the cobol 2. Now I'm using the for the message, so first of all I type for here updated the item, and using this dollar symbol and also stack by the index plus operator for 1. Okay, then using this semicolon and again type for this item dot narration and using style dot narration, and also type for here is the font weight. Okay, so A for T and then type for is font weight if go if is the bold. Okay, type is perfectly, and you can see here it is a perfectly done, and this example here is query selector all, select the list element used for is to loop through them and update their text and the style. Okay, so now just saving this code again, just open this browser and see the result. Okay, so as you can see here is properly printing release 1 update item on update item 2 and update item 3. Okay, and I will completely understanding the simple of example, and this is for how you can use CSS selects in JavaScript interact with ATM elements. So properly cover selecting by ID class and working with multiple elements. So okay,